Hey, what's up everyone and welcome to Daily Code Buffer. I have got a lot of requests from you guys about creating a Java roadmap, like what to learn and what to proceed with the next steps while learning Java. So this is it. I'm preparing a video for you guys. So in this particular video, we will understand about what would be the roadmap and what all things you should learn to be a successful Java developer. Now this is just a guidelines, but there is a lot more thing that you can learn and improve your knowledge. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Now, if you are enjoying all these particular videos that I'm sharing in this particular channel, then do support me by subscribing to this particular channel and giving like on this particular video. You can also join this channel by clicking on the join button below, where you will get more benefits from this particular channel. You'll get all the behind the scene contents, one-to-one video calls and lot more. So do support me by joining this channel. So coming to the Java roadmap, here I've created the mind map for you guys. So here let's look at all the different things available. Here you can see that you have to learn about the different concepts available and the different topics that I have mentioned over here. So let's start with the core Java first. Okay, in this particular Java roadmap, the first thing that you need to learn is about the core Java. So in this particular core Java, all the different Java concepts like OOPs, interfaces, inheritance, collections, like how to store the data, different data structures, right? Like how you will be storing the data in your Java program, like when to use list, when to use array list, when to use linked list, when to use map, when to use hash map, when to use sorted maps, all these different things you need to learn about Java within the core Java topics. You need to also learn about how to create the classes, nested classes, inner classes, variables, how to create the different loops, while loop, do while loop, for loop and all. Advanced for loops. So these are all the core Java concepts that you must be aware about before starting or before going to the next steps. So do learn all these particular concepts. After that, you need to learn about the advanced Java concepts. Now in this particular advanced Java, you can see that there are design patterns, how the JVM works, like the working of JVM, how threads work, how to create the threads, servlets and JSPs, and all these different topics. I'm not telling you need to learn each and everything, but in this particular advanced Java topics, you must be aware about all the different things and how those are working. And whenever you are working on those particular things, you can read about it and you can enhance your particular knowledge and you can implement in your project. Like design patterns, you don't have to learn all the design patterns. You can learn the design patterns which are most used in the industry, like singleton design pattern, builder design pattern. These are mostly used in the industry. And if you are working in the Spring Boot framework or any Spring framework as well, these are the design patterns you will see most. So you should be aware about all those particular design patterns. You should be aware about the working of JVM. This is the very important thing. Like you should be aware about how JVM works, then only you'll be able to understand about the different concepts and architecture level of the Java. You should be aware about the working of a thread as well, how you can create the threads, how you can create your synchronized programs, and you should also learn about the servlets and JSPs. If you work with any of the companies, they would be working with the JSPs and servlets. There are new frameworks available, they will be working with the new framework as well. But if you go with the enterprise applications, right, all those particular enterprise applications created in Java will be using JSPs and servlets. So learn about how to create different JSPs and all the different tags available, how to manipulate the data within the JSPs, and how to create the servlets and the working of servlets. So learn about those as well. Then you can also learn about the concurrency, how you can create your concurrent application, how you can create concurrent threads. All these particular things also you should be aware about. I'm not telling you should be master in all of these particular things, but basic knowledge should be there. And you should also be learning about the garbage collection, how the garbage collection in Java works. So you will get more understanding about how to create different variables and how to optimize your code as well, which leads to the next point, that is to understand about the best practices and the code structure. You should be able to understand about how your code structure should be in your Java application and what are the different best practices that you can follow in your Java applications. These all things you can get to know while you are working with the Java application, while you are working with the Java projects. But you should be open to learn all these particular things, and whenever you get time, you can explore the internet as well. There are a lot of blogs available. From that you can learn all these particular things. Now once you are well versed with the core Java and advanced Java topics, you should be able to code Java application. So for that, you should have the knowledge about any of the IDEs that you use. I have mentioned few of the IDEs over here, but you can pick any one of your choice. IntelliJ IDEA is the best one for the Java application, followed by the Eclipse. But nowadays you can also create Java application using the VS Code via different plugins available. So I'm liking VS Code also for now for creating Java application. But the best one is IntelliJ IDEA. So you should be aware about all the different shortcuts for your IDEs, whichever you are preferring. So it will optimize your workflow and it will increase your productivity for writing applications. Now all your Java code should be built. So for building your Java projects, you should be aware about the different build tools available. So there are a lot of build tools available where you can use those particular tools to build your particular project, namely Maven, Gradle, and there are a lot more as well available. But I'm only aware about these three, and out of that Maven is the most used build tools available, and it is easy to get started as well. So for the other two there is a little bit of learning curve as well, but most of the places you will get to work on the Maven as well. So you should be aware about any one of the build tools and how particular build tools work and what is the concept behind it. So similarly you can implement in the other build tools when you're working with them. Now when you're working with the large teams in the organizations, you should be able to understand about how Git works and the different tools available that will help you to manage your code. So there's a GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. So in any of the organizations, these are the mainly used platforms for maintaining your code. So you should be aware about all those particular things as well. Like start with understanding about the Git, how Git works, how to commit your code, how to take a pull request, how to push your code, how to fetch the code. Okay, so all these particular different things are there. So learn about those things, how Git works, and all the different platforms that I have mentioned. All those particular platform does the same thing. So anyone you can opt for and you can learn about that as well. Once you are creating your web application, you will be deploying your web applications somewhere. So you will be deploying your applications on servers. So you should be aware about at least one server that you can work with, right? So there are a lot of servers available where you can deploy your Java application, and mainly widely Tomcat has been used, and I've seen JBoss also used many places. There are a lot more web servers available. So you should be aware about how to deploy your applications to your application server or web server. So I'm not telling you about to learn about the advanced knowledge about the different servers, but you should be able to deploy your application. At least that thing you should be aware about. Now following to the servers, database plays an important role while creating your Java application because you need to store your data, right? So if you go to any of the organizations, you have to work with the database as well. You have to write the different SQL queries. You can see that I have mentioned all those particular points as well over here. You have to write the different queries as well. Okay, so you need to have the different concepts in mind, like how the ACID property works, how to create the joins between the two or more tables, how to create the indexes, how to create the different constraints on the tables. So you should be aware about all those particular things. These are the basic concepts about the SQL, but you should be aware about it. There are more advanced concepts also available that most of the organizations are using, but once you start working on those particular things, you will get more understanding and you should be learning those as well. Like how to create the procedures, how to create different packages, how to create the user-defined functions in the database. All those are advanced functions, like how to create triggers and all those things. So whenever you're working with a database, learn the basics and then you can improve your knowledge while creating these advanced concepts as well, while working with this particular advanced concepts as well. Now we are working with the Java. Java has to connect to the database via any of the frameworks available or any of the tools available. Like by default, Java has the JDBC. So JDBC will help us to connect your Java applications to your database. So there are a lot of different frameworks available, ORM frameworks, that is object relationship mapping frameworks, where you will define your relationship between a class and table. You will define this particular class will define this particular table in my database. So for that, different frameworks are available. So you should be aware about those frameworks as well. Hibernate is the most widely used ORM framework. So you should be having the basic knowledge about Hibernate, how to use Hibernate, how to configure your Hibernate in your Java application to query those data, to add or delete or update the data in the database. So you should be aware about all those particular things. There is a JPA as well, that is a Java Persistent API. That is a specification provided by Java. Based on that, different frameworks are created. So here you can see that Spring Data JPA, right? So Spring Data JPA is based on the JPA. So when you're working with the Spring Boot applications or Spring frameworks, using Spring Data JPA makes much more sense because of the integration with the Spring. So this was all about the database and the different ORM frameworks. Now once you create your application, you should be able to test your application as well. So for testing, you should be able to understand, or you should be having the basic knowledge about how to do unit testing, how to do integration testing, how to debug your code. That is the thing that every developer should know, how to debug your code. So within IDE, there are a lot of options available to debug your code. So once you get the understanding about your IDE, you will be easily able to debug your code as well. Because whenever you're working with the organizations, debugging code is the most basic thing that you have to do. So learn about that as well, like how to debug your code. Then you should also learn the basics of different testing frameworks like JUnit, Mockito, different assertion frameworks and all. So learn the basics, learn how to write the JUnit, how to write the test cases, and once you're working with the organization, you will get more understanding and you will get advanced knowledge, because some of the things will be already implemented. You can refer those things and you can implement those as well. So learn about the testing frameworks and different types of testing. I'm just telling all the basic knowledge. You should be aware about this. You should not be a master of everything. Now, logging. So there are different logging libraries available. So whenever you're creating the Java application or any of the application, okay, you should log your errors or everything so that you can get to know what is happening in the system. Okay, without logging, you won't get what is wrong with the system or what's happening with the system. So there are a lot of different libraries available, so you can learn any of the library. You should be aware about how to write the loggers, different logging levels available. So these are the basic details that you should be aware about. So here you can see that log4j, log4j2, logback is available. Okay, and after that you can see that there are different frameworks available. So here you can see that there is a different frameworks such as Spring, Spring Boot, Quarkus, Micronaut. So these are the frameworks that help us to create our application really fast. So whenever you want to create your applications very rapidly, right? So you can opt for the Spring Boot, that is the rapid application development. And I have a dedicated course on that as well. So you can refer that particular course as well. I'll link in the description below. So there is a lot more things available within Spring and Spring Boot that demands its own video. So if you want that particular video about roadmap for learning Spring and Spring Boot, then let me know in the comment section below. Then I will try to create a video for that as well. So try to learn any one of the framework. In the market currently, Spring and Spring Boot are the most in-demand framework. So most of the organizations are using those particular frameworks to create the different Spring MVC applications and to create the different microservice applications as well. So once you learn about all the core concepts about the Java, like core Java concepts, advanced Java concept, and all the different tools available, learn the framework, because directly learning the framework without learning the core Java concepts, there is no point, because you won't understand how that particular framework is working, how the different dependency injection is there, how the inversion of control is there, how the inversion of control works. So all these concepts you should learn first, and then you can learn this particular frameworks. That will be very easy for you to grab all the concepts within this particular frameworks. So as a developer, you know a particular language, you know different frameworks available, you know everything. But basic thing is Linux. You should be aware about the different Linux commands and how to navigate through the different file structures in the Linux, because whatever the applications are there, most probably you will be deploying in the Unix or Linux server. So you should be able to traverse through the different files. If you want to modify some files directly in the server, you should be able to do those things. You should be aware about the different basic commands like creating the file, creating the folders, deleting the files, updating the files. These all things are the very basic commands, so you should be able to handle all those particular tasks. And once you have the basic understanding, you can go with the advanced commands as well, like grep commands, like creating the bash scripts. These are all the advanced topics that you can learn once you know the basics of Linux. But I highly recommend learning basics of Linux. That will help you in your career. So here you can see that this is the entire Java roadmap that I have listed down over here, where you can learn all the different topics available. If you want, I'll share the screenshot also on Twitter, so you can follow all these particular topics. Now apart from this, there are a lot more different libraries available that will be helpful for your Java application, like working with JSON, working with XMLs, working with files. So there are a lot more libraries available. You can go through those libraries once you get the basics of everything. That will help you in your career. But this is the basic that you should follow to get started in the Java world. I know there is a lot of things other than Java as well, but this is a whole package, right? Once you start working in any of the company, these are the basic things that you will get around. There are a lot more. There are other things like project management tools, right? Like you will be working with the different life cycles, software development life cycles as well, either waterfall or agile. Agile is the widely used nowadays. So for managing those things, there are different project management tools like Jira, Rally. So these are different tools that also basic knowledge you should be aware about. You should be having the basic knowledge about what is agile, how agile works as well. So just grab the basic knowledge, and once you start working you will get the advanced knowledge as well, and you can learn based on your interest as well. So I hope you have enjoyed this particular video. I know many of you guys were asking about it, so I've just created it. And for Spring and Spring Boot, if you want the roadmap for that as well, then let me know in the comment section below. Comment it with the hashtag Spring Boot roadmap, then I will create the video for that as well. So that's it in this particular video. If you like this video, then give us a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for the upcoming videos. You can also join my channel as well. Click on the join button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.